Call of Duty has a massive line of games spanning over 20 different experiences. With it being an arcade shooter, it has had many game modes, like the iconic Team Deathmatch, aka a Slaughterfest. We have Kill Confirmed, which is also a Slaughterfest, but with tags. Domination, which places 3 points around the map. You got A, B, and C, holding the majority for a certain amount of time, and boom, you win. Hardpoint, which is personally my favorite, takes you around the map holding on to different parts of the map for a minute until one team hits the score limit. Even Search and Destroy, the bomb game mode, which is one life with a team who defends the bomb sites while the other tries to plant. Yet nowadays, you can guarantee these will be in every installment of the newest Call of Duty. Sadly, nowadays, some game modes are rarely brought back or not at all. For example, today's video will bring up Champions Hill from Vanguard, Uplink, Capture the Flag, and the reason why you're here, Face Off from the MW3 from 2011. Champion Hill was a game mode originally brought from Call of Duty Vanguard's beta. It's a tournament-like mode against other squads that each have a certain amount of lives. This game mode introduced buy stations like Warzone, where you could buy extra lives, upgrade weapons, purchase perks, kill streaks, and more. The buy station is between rounds, and your goal is to wipe other teams' lives. We have the iconic Uplink, which was introduced in each of the Jetpack Call of Duties, as well as a grounded version in World War II called Gridiron. The goal for this mode was a ball was placed in the middle of the map. One hoop would be on each team's side to where you would need to shoot the ball into the goal or run it into the enemy goal. So think of basketball. UF7 tried to bring it back recently with a game mode called Overload if you just kind of forgot the ball and anything that made Uplink kind of cool. Then we have Capture the Flag. It was recently last in MW3. This game mode has been in a lot of older Call of Duties. Each team gets a flag in their spawn. Your goal, sneak through the enemy's forces, take the flag, and you haul ass back to your flag to score. Though, if they have your flag, you couldn't score until your team was able to get control of your flag back, which was really cool. But if you're playing solo and you have some interesting people playing on your team, it could easily piss you off. Now the reason you're really here, Face Off. The one I want to focus on today is from MW3 2011. This was a playlist for 1v1, 2v2, and 3v3. And without being biased, it was perfect. When I was a kid, I played MW3 Face Off too much, probably more than the regular 6v6 experience at the time, which I still played a lot of. It's a little biased. The only Face Off maps I played during that time though were Aground and Erosion, which was free DLC to download to play Face Off at that time. Aground was a smaller map that took place in Ireland. It was a shipwreck on the Irish coast. And then we have Erosion. Erosion took place in Italy, located near Mount Vesuvius. The map had a lot of verticality, I remember, with a lower floor for more flanking and running around the map, or high in the towers holding angles. The game modes I remember taking place was TDM, Kill Confirm, Search, and Domination. Now to today's gunfight / Face Off maps. These seem much more large. Now sure, there's Gunfight, which is 2v2, it's a one life mode, and it's like Search and Destroy, but if you take too long, there's a flag in the middle that one of the teams have to capture. But that's all that was. In Cold War Face Off, there were small maps with 6v6, aka it was absolute chaos sometimes. Though with Black Ops 6 and now Black Ops 7, these 2v2 and 6v6 maps are becoming a main point in Call of Duty, especially for camo grinders and people who are wanting pure chaos and a lot of experience. But for myself, these maps go untouched often, as I prefer to think while I'm trying to play Call of Duty, not just running around and hoping I get a couple kills. That's where MW3 Face Off comes in. I could play maps in TDM, Kill Confirm, Search, or Domination in different team sizes and find the love put into these maps. For example, a map like Pit is so clustered to run on for 6v6. Other BO6 maps I think would work for these different team sizes, aka the 1v1s, the 2v2s, even the 3v3s, are maps like Heirloom, Ratchet, Bullet, Lifeline, Signal, Blitz, Eclipse, Exchange, and Mothball. Sure, do some of them play somewhat okay in 6v6? Sure, but imagine having Search and Destroy on these with 3v3 or 2v2, you know? I just think it would bring it to life and give me a reason to play these maps. These maps and others were released, and yet because I want to go play the game with thought, these maps were just never touched for me personally. When they added 2v2 map to the roadmap recently for the newest Call of Duties, for me, usually there's no excitement. I brush it off because I know I'm just not gonna really see the map. For example, there's Nexus right now in Black Ops 7, and it's really sick, and I think it would also be really sick for just 2v2, 3v3, and 1v1 on these different game modes. Yet it's stuck behind Face Off. Black Ops 7 added a map called Odysseus? That's what Google said, leave me alone, in Season 1. But because it's a 2v2 map, and if you go play the face-off playlist that's already in Black Ops 7, the 6v6 just feels way too cluttered, way too much happening. But if it was only 3v3, 2v2, I feel like the map would play, 1, a lot better, but 2, it would be really fun in objective modes. But imagine having a 1v1, 2v2, or 3v3 of any of the modes I mentioned earlier. It would just feel great, plus you get experience another piece of the content just in case you don't like to feel clustered. Imagine, you're tired of 6v6 experience, so you ask your friend to go boot up Face Off 2v2, you get an S&D and on any of the 2v2 size maps. It would feel like a whole new world and give you more content during the season updates because you're playing those 2v2 maps they keep pushing out. If Call of Duty plans on keeping 2v2 size maps around, Face Off should make a return. Remember, it's a beautiful day to play video games, and Call of Duty, if you're listening, please bring Face Off back. I need it, and it would help me experience a lot of these Face Off maps that you keep bringing over.